Hollywood Walk of Lame? More like Megaflopolis. From the world of Max Dreams, Ballerina. More trailers. Minuto Pinguino. Ooh, witchy woman. The live streams, do it live. Superheroes for all. Hellboy at home. Garfield is back and hungry and loves lasagna.
All of that and more, but first, news dump. Bunch of deaths, Mac. Bunch of Hollywood deaths.
Yeah, rip in peace for Maggie Smith, Chris Christopherson, Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Rose. I'll just rapid fire this. I literally have only ever seen Maggie Smith, Dame Maggie Smith,
Yes,
sorry,
Dame.
in the Harry Potter movies. She was great in those. So
Mhm.
obviously, a whole generation grew up on her. Chris Christopherson is someone I am aware of. I don't know any of his songs. I know he was in A Star Is Born 50 years ago.
Not hashtag your Star is Born, though.
No, not mine.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's mourned by many. Dikembe Mutombo, actually kind of sad. Brain
Very sad.
cancer
Yeah.
in his 50s. One of the like biggest humanitarians on the planet. So that'll be sorely missed. And then real piece of shit, Pete Rose, also in there.
Very good baseball player. You can read up on the stuff that Pete Rose has done off the field. By all accounts, bad guy.
You know what I don't give a fuck about, and I'll go to my deathbed on this. This is where I'm
Mhm.
drawing a line in the sand, Goo. I don't need Tony Gwynn and Pete Rose smashing singles. Hashtag not my
I've
Hall of
been
Famers.
saying this to you for
Out.
years.
Out on these
I
fucking
don't
guys.
care about guys that hit singles. When people
Hate it.
tell me all the time about, Tony Gwynn being an amazing baseball player, yes, he was a very good contact hitter. But if
Yeah.
I'm going to pick a contact hitter, I'm taking Wade Boggs. He could at least incorporate a double every once in a while.
I mean, at least Tony Gwynn had a couple years where he hit 20 home runs. Pete Rose never did. I couldn't think of a more overrated baseball player than Pete Rose. Sure, Hall of Famer, had a million hits, played forever. I think he's the MLB all-time leader in like games and at bats, whatnot.
Yeah.
Obviously has a place in baseball history. Whether you want him in the Hall of Fame or not, that's up to you. But it's just I don't give a fuck about Pete Rose. No, I'm not wowed by Pete Rose hustling out a double. Give me a fucking 500-foot moonshot.
Yeah, but so also with Tony Gwynn, people always talk about, well, he never struck out, which is cool. But if you're just going to lightly tap out to the shortstop, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Put a little juice in that ball, baby.
Totally agree. Imagine if Tony Gwynn worked out, that fat fuck, by the end of his career. He
Well,
started his career super in shape, and then he was just like, I like drinking and food.
look, I'm
Which
just going to say
I
this once
understand.
again. And look, every player in that era, don't tell me any of them are clean.
Well, Tony Gwynn might be. A steroid
I
could have
don't
helped
know.
Tony Gwynn.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he had his best power year like in his mid 30s.
Possibly, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
also with Mutombo, I was very, very close a couple of years ago to pulling the trigger on like that Nuggets rainbow Mutombo.
Yeah,
That's a
great
good
jersey.
one.
Yep, and they were
I
the
don't know if I
first,
like the number 55 though. I think it's a little too big.
well, that traditionally, before we loosened the rules, that was the highest number you could go in basketball. 'Cause to
Oh,
signal a foul, they would use 5-5, So you couldn't
what
go.
if
That's why you never saw like a 26, a 56. Traditionally, it was 5 and 5 was the limit on either number there. And then of
because
course,
refs only had so many fingers.
yeah. And then also,
Wow.
obviously, you got now, Rodman started wearing crazy numbers, but forever, that's why 55 was always like a classic big numbers because that was usually the limit.
Okay.
You just learned something new today, huh?
I did. I really like that actually. News dump. Mac, we spoke about this last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, about who would be at the Batman Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
And we questioned, would any of the actors be there? Maybe the
Mhm.
studio head, James Gunn, or something
Yep,
like that.
yep.
And kind of not a great showing, I would say. I know that there were very like legends of comic book writing, and like Paul Dini was there, the creator of Harley Quinn. Burt Ward was there, who
Of course
famously
it
did
was.
not play Batman.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to insult the people that were there, but a
Yeah.
little less than what we thought.
I think it would have been pretty cool. Now, obviously, this is still a bit of ways, and we don't have the casting news, but it really would have been perfect timing if James Gunn had announced the new Batman at this Star Walk Hollywood thing, and he was there taking photos with it.
I mean, it would have broken the internet if they were
Mm.
able to get Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Affleck, Bale, and Pattinson all in
Do you think
one
they have a
area.
Batman group chat? All those fellas?
Definitely not. I would
I mean, there's no way they
assume,
include Kilmer.
well, I would assume that Pattinson has talked to Kilmer, or I'm trying to think because I know that he tested as Batman in one of their bat suits, either
Mhm.
Kilmer or Clooney. I'm trying to think if it was the nipple suit though.
Okay. Yeah, Keaton doesn't care enough, I think, to maybe be
Keaton does
included
not
in
care
that.
about anything.
Yeah. Clooney's cool enough that I think he'd wanna be involved.
Yeah.
I could go either way on Kilmer. Yeah, maybe Bale doesn't care enough either, actually. I don't know.
Although we thought that Affleck didn't care, but then he just kept on showing back up. We thought that he was done constantly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also,
Yeah. Money
the
talks.
studio should have paid all of them to be there.
Money,
That's okay,
please.
so this should have nothing to do with whether they wanted to be there or not. The studio should have paid each of them money to be there.
And realistically, they're all living within, like, 15 miles of wherever that star was too.
They all have apartments right next to the star, I
Yeah.
think. I'm not trying to dox anybody right now, but news up. Over at the box office this past weekend, The Wild Robot. Pretty good weekend for a non-IP. The DreamWorks animated movie made $37.5 million domestically, $53 million worldwide on a budget of $78.
Yeah, it did, not substantially better, but noticeably better than Transformers did the week before, with both getting pretty similar reviews, so this
Mhm.
is real good, and I think it's gonna have, you know, we didn't really see this coming, I had seen promo for this a couple months ago. I was not anticipating, what some are saying, like, an all-time great animated movie,
Yeah.
so, uh, credit to this, and knocked off Beetlejuice coming in at number 2. Big drop for Transformers,
Huge
which is
drop. I didn't see
bit of
that
a
coming.
yeah, bit of a bummer, especially after all the positive reviews, but I don't know, maybe people are choosing between Robot and Transformers, and Beetlejuice is kind of a different audience,
Yeah, and Beetlejuice will continue to get that spooky audience because we are now in October.
officially.
Or as the Mac and Goo listeners call it, October. I'm also thinking that the Wild Robot will continue to do well because I think forecasters were questioning how well it would do in its opening weekend and then if it needed word of mouth, but it came out of the gates pretty hot.
Yeah, it's blowing everyone's expectations out of the water, so credit to the, I think it's DreamWorks, right?
Yes.
The studio there.
Mac coming in sixth on a budget of $120 million. And I believe Francis Ford Coppola, he footed most of this bill and then tried to sell the movie and no one wanted it, or someone eventually took it, correct? That's kind of the backstory to it?
Yeah, so I do know not only budget of 120 million. Francis Ford Coppola obviously used to make good movies. I think he's also been trying to make this movie for like 30 years.
Yeah.
So long time coming for it to make 4 million in its opening weekend.
4 million, by the way. $4 million.
That is bad. That's real bad. And I have seen the general reaction to this, that at least that I've gathered, is people are just like confused. Like
Yeah.
why does this movie exist?
I have
It's
seen
not
Wild
terrible,
Swings. Yeah.
although I have seen more audience reactions as it being terrible. Critics have been more like, I don't know what this movie is.
Yeah, I have seen 3 or 4 of people that I trust being like, this is an absolute mess. Now, I'm going to see it soon.
Same.
News dump. Something that I am going to see as well is Ballerina. Should have seen her. By the way, the drop of this song in the trailer. By the way, we're talking about from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. If they keep this title, real bad.
This is a Furiosa situation for
This
sure.
is the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I understand that you need to have John Wick somewhere in the title
I
because you're
guess.
trying to let people know that John Wick is not only in this movie, which I
Yeah.
don't know why they need to tell us in the trailer. You can just tease it with Baba Yaga.
Mm.
But yes, that you're trying to get people in the doors. But the trailer looks really good. I didn't like the musical choice. I thought it was a bit on the nose.
Mm.
But Ana de Armas.
So is the studio, and maybe I have a warped no, I do have a warped opinion and the way I view stars like Sydney Sweeney and Ana de Armas. She's the draw. I'm going to see because of
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Is the studio not confident that she's a big enough draw that they have to do this whole in the world of John Wick and having actually showing Keanu in the trailer?
I think that they need people to know that he is there because he was the big draw of those previous 4 movies. And you want to get people in the
Yes.
doors, letting them know this is a John Wick movie, even though Even though if you just watch the trailer, you
Yeah.
can tell by the lighting, by the fighting, by the dialogue, by everything. This is
And
a John Wick movie.
yeah, and all the other crossover characters that aren't John Wick. Like you didn't need to give him away, even though we all knew he's gonna be in this movie.
I heard you like to dance. I should have been in this movie. I can take you to a dance lesson.
He's the
Spot on.
worst.
Spot on. News dump. By the way, very excited about Ballerina. Also very excited about season 2 of The Last of Us. This is coming to us in 2025, so just 3 or 4 years away. And this is set 7 years in the future?
The second game is set 7 years in the future. This season is gonna be at least initially 5 years in the
Oh,
future.
I like that.
So I think they're gonna fill some of that gap and then lead into what the second game gets into, and then probably the third season will conclude where the second game finishes. I am going into this similarly as how I went into the first season. I am aware of some of the events in the first game,
Yeah.
as I am aware of some of the events in the second game. I am purposefully not playing the game because I don't want them to spoil the show. I
Yeah.
loved season 1 of the show. I really didn't have many complaints because I didn't play the video game. So I'm going in same way season 2. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for a cry. I bet I'll have a nice cry in there. It seems like people are teasing that. But I am really looking forward to this.
A very subdued Catherine O'Hara.
So at least for now.
Yeah. Oh, you think she just turns into shit
Yeah.
halfway through? News dump. Also got another trailer for Nosferatu. I added a V when it should have been an F, but it is a spooky Dracula, and this stars Willem Dafoe and Billy Skarsgård.
I like that they're not showing Bill Skarsgård.
They
as
showed him in the
Nosferatu.
first one, though.
Yeah, fair. Um, I don't know. I'm confused on this one. This most recent trailer sort of did it for me, but I'm like, do I want this movie? I don't.
Both
And
of these trailers did it for me.
I obviously Robert Eggers has made some really good movies over the last few years. Cast is great. I don't know. I'm confused by it. I guess I'm looking forward to it. I don't know.
I am looking forward to this movie so much, but when watching the trailers, I'm like, this might make no money.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's not gonna make a lot of money. Definitely
It's
won't.
also being released on Christmas Day, the spookiest day of the year.
Weird timing for sure.
Yeah, I feel like, although you
should've been-
don't want to,
It should have been coming out in the middle of October.
it should have been, well, we always say for a spooky movie, you put it out late September so you get the full month of it.
There you go.
But yeah, this does look great though. The whole feel of it feels kind of gross. It feels kind of real too.
I will say my one critique is one of the awesome parts of that movie, and I'm sure this is falling upon deaf ears because I doubt many of our listeners have ever watched Nosferatu.
Well, the first movie was a silent movie.
Yeah,
so.
1920, I think it came out.
You just missed my joke. You said deaf ears, and I said it was a silent movie.
Oh, how about it? Zing.
Woo!
The set design in the first movie is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Of course, because it was in 1920 and it's expressionism. Is that what I'm looking for? Something like that. So you're missing some of that magic, but I guess if you're gonna remake it, you're not gonna go psycho and just do a shot for shot. So
yeah,
I don't know.
News dump. Squid Game season 2. People are still hype on this.
This
is
is
your
my
thing.
note.
This
Yeah,
is your note.
I guess I
Yeah.
should have made it blue. I'm curious. Are people still hype on Squid Game? Are people looking forward to this season? I know season 1 was a big COVID thing. I think it was it 2020 that season 1 came out? I remember
I have
during
no
COVID,
idea.
people watched the shit out of this. I still haven't seen season 1. If people are looking forward to season 2, I guess maybe I'll jump back or jump in finally to season 1 to get myself ready for this. But I haven't heard too much hype around this.
News dump. Penguin Minute. I forgot to write it in Spanish over
Pinguino
here.
Minuto.
There we go. The premiere of Penguin, that was episode 1, had 10.5 million views in its first 11 days. That was outpacing current HBO series, everything besides House of Dragon and The Last of Us.
Yeah, I was real butthurt to learn on Thursday evening that this second episode was not coming out on
It's all
Thursday. As the
Sundays
first episode did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now the Sunday 9 p.m. HBO show, which is an honor. But that means I probably won't watch it till Tuesday every week, which is we're on Tuesday right now and I haven't watched it yet. So that's It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, I've had a weird schedule this past week. I have not had a chance to watch Penguin, but I'm looking forward to it. You know what I have seen? Kinda. News dump. Agatha all along. The show is now 2 for 3 in Goo falling asleep during the show.
I still think this is a Goo issue more than it is an Agatha issue. I have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it so far. They are currently on the Witch's Road, doing that stuff. It is somehow finding a good in between for me. Like I really was not looking forward to this show, but it's been zany enough to give me a couple ha-has, and I think the acting has been like, especially Catherine Hahn. It's just been really good. It's been much better than I thought it was going to be. So good enough, I guess I should say.
News dump. I saw this. This is via THR. Is that Marvel is campaigning for awards for Deadpool and Wolverine awards consideration, at least in the categories, including Best Actor Ryan Reynolds and then Best Supporting Actor Hugh Jackman. And this will also be for Oscars too. Mac, do you think this is out of spite?
How do you mean?
Like, they said, this is kind of like a big middle finger to Hollywood, being like, hey, not only did our movie dominate the year, make so much money, we're also going to put our middle fingers up and look for nominations as well.
I don't think, as much as we love those characters, I don't think either's performance, if anyone's, Jackman's does
I would
over
say
Reynolds.
Jackman, but I would almost say Jackman just for a legacy thing of like,
Sure.
just give him a nom. Because first off, he should
I
have
can get
gotten
on board with
something
that.
for Logan, by the way.
I can get on. Yeah,
Yeah.
good point. Strong point. I can get on board with that. I don't think he should win, but I think I'd be happy with that. I do think the movie should be nominated for Best Picture, though. I mean, when a movie is that culturally
No.
significant and makes that much money, it should get a Best Picture nom.
Don't get me wrong. I don't know of 10 movies at the moment that you would nominate, but usually they start to creep into our awareness in about a month. So,
I mean, think about it. We do have some time left.
yeah.
Is the leader in the clubhouse for Best Picture Dune 2 right now?
I don't think they would even give it to Dune 2 because it's, it isn't one of those big art house movies.
I think it might be. We'll
but
have
you
to
know
get
what?
on the bets.
But that's what they should do. They should give it to Dune 2. I mean, are they going to do what they did with the Lord of the Rings and wait until like the trilogy is over and they'll
I
kind
don't
of
know.
award the
Right.
final movie for how good the
Right.
second one is?
Yeah, but Dune 2 also, like with Lord of the Rings, does have crossover appeal
Yes.
to like the science fiction fans and also the critics because it's shot so beautifully.
Look, it's
And
a
we've talked
light
about
year.
that before.
It is a light year.
Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
a good year, not only for Buzz, but also for Doom 2 to sneak in there.
So, I mean, I still again think when a movie's as popular and makes as much money as Deadpool or Wolverine, it should be one of your fucking 10 nominees. Doesn't need to get serious consideration for a win. But I think if Dune 2 does start to pick up this steam, I'll overlook the Deadpool and Wolverine thing as long as Dune 2 wins.
I would love it if the Oscars now gave out awards for best Easter eggs. Well, didn't they incorporate a fan vote?
Yeah, that's what the Snyder Cut won that fucking bullshit.
Yeah, is that
'Cause
still a
people,
thing?
fake voted for it.
Is that still a thing or no?
I know. I think when the Snyder Cut won, they were like, "Well, no, this is the
They're
last
like,
time.
we've
First and last time."
we've made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
News dump. Speaking of superheroes, we're now allowed to say it.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. Marvel and DC had joined forces and were fighting in court to keep the trademark just theirs. Only they could use the term superhero, apparently, or license the term superhero. And a court struck it down, said no more. Superhero has now entered the public domain. So I wonder if we now get what's that Winnie the Pooh movie?
Oh, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's going to be Winnie
maybe
the
we
Pooh,
get those style superhero movies.
Blood and Superheroes. I would also assume that in an episode of The Boys next year, they're going to say the word superhero 100 times.
No doubt.
Just over
Absolutely.
and over and over again, as opposed to soups. News dump. One of those soups. Hellboy, it looks like The Crooked Man will be skipping its theatrical release domestically and will hit digital platforms on October 6th.
I would like a round of applause for the people that created this movie and realized probably stinks, but it'll be more well received
Yeah.
when it's free digitally instead of people paying $20 to go see this piece of shit.
I'm not here to, point fingers or critique other people's work, although that's kind of what we do every week. And I do apologize for that for the people that actually put in time on this. But this looks like a home video.
It doesn't look good.
No.
And from Jump Street here, when we saw the teaser trailer, we're like, this looks not great. And we're also coming off the heels of an incredibly bad Hellboy
Yeah.
movie, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So there's no appetite for this either.
It looked like not Hellboy, a triple X parody, which is something I don't want to see, but I'd probably take a peek at.
Yeah.
He's got that one big arm. What's he going to do with it?
It's true.
I think I would know how he got it. It's the same way you got your big arm.
Yeah.
News dump. I got our first clip from the Minecraft movie. I didn't see this. I don't care about this. You're a huge fan.
I've never played the game. I'm aware of the game because I have young nieces and nephews who are all about Minecraft and crafting shit in that world. I've never quite gotten the appeal of it, but I do know it's super popular. I don't know, when they announced this, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna make a Minecraft movie. And after seeing a clip, I'm like, I don't know what this movie's gonna do. Jack Black's in it, Jason Momoa's in it, so they got a fun cast. Maybe it'll be sneaky good. I'm just also confused by this.
Do your nieces and nephews like is it Roblox? Roblox?
Oh, Roblox.
Yeah.
Yep. Very into that too.
I remember we gave one of my wife's godsons $200 for
Yeah.
birthday, Christmas, whatever, and he immediately turned it into Robux.
Yep.
And I'm
No,
like,
my
"Oh, boy."
niece is 7.5.
Yeah.
Or well, somewhere between 7 and 8. Very into Roblox. Very into Roblox.
Does she convert all of her money into Robux?
She spends an awful lot of time on that. I'm sure every ounce of hard-earned cash she makes goes into.
So is that game you just buy shit?
No,
I haven't
no,
investigated enough into the game, but
it's similar to Minecraft and how they're all sort of like you can play different games within the game like you can in GTA, and Roblox is like a more child-friendly Minecraft, but Minecraft is already child-friendly. At least that's my understanding of it.
okay.
Yeah, it's basically a way to suck money out of parents via their children.
Yeah, because what are these kids spending these Robux on? Is it skins?
I have no idea.
They're buying skins?
Sure. Items in the game. I don't know.
News dump. Andrew Garfield is back after a 2-year break from acting. He said, I'm excited to work again. I feel looser. I feel established enough as an actor. He told this to The Hollywood Reporter.
I got to be honest, Goo, hand up. This one's on me.
I didn't know he was on a
in
break.
retirement.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I had
know.
no
I didn't know
idea.
either.
So I'm glad he's back. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's
But
great.
I guess the last time I saw him was in the Spider-Man movie. So
Mhm.
yeah, I guess it has been a couple years.
And I mean, they're going to sneak him into one of these Avengers movies, right?
I don't know, man. Sony's still fucking playing fast and loose with their stupid universe. Once that goes away, and it will, maybe we see him in here. But as long as Sony's still sort of operating as an adjacent universe, I don't think we see Garfield in another MCU movie.
And not to knock down the other two, but you could tell in No Way Home that Garfield was just running circles around the other two Spider-Man.
He's so good. And
I don't even like his Spider-Man movies, but like
I'm higher on them than most people. He's so damn good. He really is. And
he's awesome.
I think one of the coolest parts of that movie is his redemption arc. Obviously couldn't save what's her face?
Gwen.
Emma Stone. Couldn't save Gwen.
Emma
Saves
Stone,
MJ.
if you will. I don't like that.
I love Andrew Garfield. Though, so I remember when we started this podcast, when we started getting into more movies, you made a really good point about Garfield's Spider-Man being like too cool. He wasn't nerdy enough, and it's a very valid point. However, Garfield is so awesome that he makes it work.
Right. And then also in No Way Home, he was able to like rechannel that character completely and take the grief that he had from losing Emma Stone and turn it into, he wasn't as cool. He was,
what he did,
knocked
Goo?
down a peg.
You know what he did?
He wasn't skateboarding.
He made Plemonade.
He did make Plemonade by not skateboarding or slam dunking basketballs. News up. Nobody 2 has wrapped filming. I was unaware that they were making a sequel, a movie that I believe came out during the pandemic. I loved the final scene of that movie is so fucking bonkers that I didn't think they could make a sequel,
Mm.
but here we go.
Yeah, love Bob Odenkirk, Christopher Lloyd, and RZA, right? Was his quote unquote brother in that?
Not sure.
Um, I I d- yeah, I didn't see a sequel coming. I guess I'm somewhat looking forward to it. I don't know. I inevitably I feel like I'm going to run into this issue as I have with the Wick movies. I start to lose interest when I don't understand why everyone's still fighting.
Yeah, but
You
there
know,
was that cool bus scene, and I believe it won
awesome,
the This Is
incredible
Bus
scene.
award
Yeah, the
on
old
the
straw
Mac
in
and
the
Goo
throat.
program.
Like first John Wick movie, killed his dog, in for
Yeah.
whatever. After that, I'm like, we're really stretching the motivations here. I think he should just go back into retirement.
Well, no, all the people are trying to win tokens from the underground, I believe.
Yeah, what a stupid
Is that
idea
what it
that
is?
is. Is that what
From the
maybe no
table. It's from the table.
maybe we're gonna find out nobody operates in the John Wick world.
I don't want that.
A John Wick story, nobody too.
That's a good callback. I like that. News dump. And finally, coming out this week by the end of the week is Joker, Folie à Deux. Mac, I know that you like music. You're unlike most people.
Yeah, right. Very
Lady
unique.
Gaga has
Yeah.
made an accompanying album to this movie.
Yeah, I love Gaga.
Yeah.
I I I understand what she's doing. I only made it like 2 songs in, and I was like,
Really?
yeah. So I'm gonna give it a legitimate listen at some point this week. But the first couple songs did not rope me in, and I also probably won't be seeing Joker till, like, Saturday maybe, or Sunday,
No!
or Friday?
You
I don't know.
Can you see
I
it
don't know.
Thursday, please?
I'm gonna try. I'm
Please see it
hoping.
because we have to do it for the end of the week.
I know,
I'm not
I know.
around next week.
Yeah, neither am I.
Yes, you are. You're always around.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best.
Um,
I actually forgot, so maybe I'll buy tickets today.
so hindsight's 2020, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you think that Gaga should have done the Harley Quinn voice in the movie and then made a full album with that voice? That's something that younger Gaga would have
Mhm.
done.
I I wonder if she just didn't know what she was getting into when she signed up for this movie. Of course, she's artsy, and this is an artsy take on the fucking Joker and Harley Quinn, I
Thoughts
guess.
and thoughts and crafts.
But I wonder if she thought she was going to be able to use original music in the movie, which I think is a better selling point, right? Instead of just
Mhm.
a companion piece to the movie, which isn't going to hit as well because once again, I don't think anyone wants this movie. It just exists. It exists in the world.
I've heard one of the songs. It's like there's a joker in the deck. In all the decks of cards, there's a joker in the deck.
That is an incredible rendition of Joker in the Deck, I guess, would you would
Was
call it.
that one of the songs? I heard
This
like a bit of it.
so that song you're talking about, I know what song you're talking about. I
Huh.
don't know what the name of it is. That's like that song is from like 1964. It's a cover. But yeah, there's there's a Joker in the deck.
I'll also say this is, and I don't think that she actually did this. The recent song that she did with Bruno Mars,
Mhm,
in the music video, she is smoking a cigarette while singing.
mhm.
Do you think she is actually skilled enough to sing at her most powerful while smoking a cigarette?
Not while sucking in, maybe while blowing out.
Because, like, she should go on America's Got Talent and sing while smoking a
Maybe she
cigarette.
could win. Yeah,
Yeah.
could win
Like,
the
you were
whole
like
damn competition.
like, I give your singing an 8.5, but you did it all while smoking a cigarette. Crank that to 11.
What's what's her stage name as the singing cigarettist? There you go.
I don't know. No, the singing
Singing
cigarettist.
cigarettist.
Who was remember when she was a younger performer and
Yeah.
she dressed as that guy with, like, the slick back hair, like the greaser hair?
I do recall what
What
you're
was
talking
that
about,
guy's
yes.
name? It was like Johnny something, right?
I don't know. Do you hey, speaking of
Yeah.
slick back old fucks, have you seen, the videos of Frankie Valli these days?
No.
He's, like, 92. They put him out there, and he's not singing. He's just lip singing the lyrics, but the microphone's, like, so far away, people you can, like, tell he's not singing, and he's just, like, stumbling around the stage, senile bastard.
Like, there needs to be a rule in place that, like, when someone hits a certain age or, you know, you can tell that they aren't completely there anymore,
Yeah.
get them out of the public eye. Stop.
Do yourself a favor, look up some Frankie Valli videos after this.
Like, I think it was Gene Wilder who, like, had a clause that once he hit a certain age, don't have him in the public eye. He doesn't wanna be in the public eye.
I
Other
am on
people should
record
do that.
that if I ever run for office, first thing I'm doing is making elderly people, recertify their license every year.
Oh, they
Like,
should once you hit a certain
after
age, yeah.
yeah, let's say, all right, maybe retirement's 65, we'll give you a grace period 70. Once you're 70, you gotta retest for your license every single year.
What if they're still in the working force? Do they still have to do it, or is it every, like, 3 years at that point?
That's a good boy. We could put a clause in there. If you're still working, let's say 20 hours a week, you would only have to retest 3 years. I like that. Of
And we'd call it the Santa Claus because Santa's also
course.
old, and he
Yeah.
has to get tested for his sleigh license.
Right, right.
That was a good one with, Martin Short, the Santa Claus. He was, Jack Frost, I believe.
You looking forward to a red one yet?
No, but this episode's going way too long.
Mm.
But I was at Home Depot yesterday.
I'm a deep.
It is the best time of year because not only is all of the Halloween stuff out, all of the Christmas stuff is also out. And you just confuse your mind.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving smack dab in the middle. It just gets no
Thanksgiving
respect.
doesn't matter anymore.
It's my favorite holiday, I think.
My son tells me, my son is 4.
Actually, Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving
It's
up there.
odd how many times my son has told me this, that he hates Thanksgiving. And I'm like, you
How
barely know Thanksgiving. He's like,
I was
I
gonna
hate
say, how is he even
Thanksgiving.
aware how is he aware the significance of Thanksgiving to even hate it?
He loves Halloween. He
Yeah.
loves Christmas. And he looks
Mhm.
at Thanksgiving as just being a hindrance
Okay.
into both of those holidays.
I could see that. Yeah. Yep. Because from a child's perspective, you're not getting much on Thanksgiving.
You're not dressing up in a costume.
Yeah.
Although we'll probably just let him be a Ghostbuster this year for Thanksgiving.
Mm.
And then Christmas, gifts.
Yeah, right.
Gifts.
If you're lucky, you get some poontang pie on Thanksgiving. That's it.
Not this guy. All right, so catch us at the end of the week. Hopefully, Macro sees Joker, and if
Yeah.
not, I don't know what we're gonna do. But we are in October,
Mm.
so maybe we'll
We'll tier Joker movies.
Joker is at number 1, and it's also last right now. It's the only one.
Huh? Dark Knight.
News up. Oh yeah, he's in other movies, I guess. News up.